4 doggone years. Feels like yesterday I was sitting waiting for cringe. Well, I mean, it was delivered, but I mean, some people liked it though, is the thing. Maybe they were so confused. Why do I like this? This makes me cringe, but I can't look away in a good way. Doesn't make any sense. I didn't expect how you 5 were actually genuine. Yeah, I mean, I feel though that the people that were in charge of picking the members from Holo-EN shared a lot of the same sentiment as the general community. At least that's how I feel. Back in the day, there was like, the team was basically no one, right? Just a couple people. Back in the day, now there are a gajillion people. But back then, the team was so small, and I believe that they were pretty big fans of Holo JP, so it made sense that they also kind of had an expectation for what they wanted. I think you may notice something about all of us in Holo-EN. It's that we all have a similar vibe of, how to say, I already said this before in the Persona stream, actually, I remember distinctly, but if you want to join us, you have to be a certain way. Does that make any sense? If you're a person that even has like an inkling of this person might be hard to get along with amongst other girls, this person might get into cat fights and stuff like that. This person might get jealous of the others really easily. If you have even a smidge of that visible in any way, and they're really good at reading people, they will figure it out immediately. And then you will not be inducted in here. Does that make any sense? They're really good at reading people. So yeah, they know how to pick them for sure. You know, all of us have become very close for a reason after all, right? You gotta pass the vibe check. It's a very specific vibe, I think, that they want. Does that make any sense? Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's hard to understand what I'm saying, but there's definitely a specific vibe that they are looking for. It's a bit hard to explain, but no pettiness allowed. You gotta pass the vibe check. That's the main thing. Also, yeah, there is no individual Mori merch for anniversary this year. That's because there's a different opportunity coming up next month. There will be group merch though, probably. Don't they do that every year? Is that the really expensive one? I don't know what's going on with that. They won't answer me. They won't answer me. Calli getting ghosted. I don't know, I feel like after a big album release, things always get quiet on the Universal side, and I have to poke them if I want anything. Because we gotta brainstorm about the next thing, right? But even they too need to take a little time to regroup, and we do some assessment, right? And we do some assessment of how things went from the last release and how we can improve. I have many notes, and I'm supposed to have a meeting where I say the things I feel. It sounds ominous. It's never them saying, Mori, you didn't sing good enough. It's never that. It's always administrative. Because I feel like something that you gotta remember when if you ever by chance maybe get into a label for whatever reason, you do your thing, no matter what. You know, a good label will not say to you, you're not good enough. And they typically don't do that. Universal's never said that to me. They've never said you're not good enough or anything like that. They have said to me, we don't have a big hit yet, so what are we gonna do? But they never really imply that it's my fault, if that makes any sense. Usually those meetings are on the administrative side. Hey, why isn't this being promoted properly, etc. Because they realize that when you go at the artist like that and be like, your singing isn't good enough, they want to leave. I mean, people signed to labels already make pennies off that stuff, right? They want you to stay. You do your artistry. That's why they signed you. After that, it's up to them to push things. If there are problems, you tell them. And other people on your team will also make that known. But we're a team after all, right? We don't get anywhere by pointing fingers and saying, so-and-so messed up this release, so-and-so borked this, etc. You don't get anywhere like that. We're a team. We gotta work together to make sure that the Mori reach can be expanded even further. But to be honest, the past release was really successful, so I'm not super worried. It was actually much more successful than Jigok 6, even though Jigok 6 is something I love very much. So for them, right, this time there was an incline, so my heart is at ease right now. As long as it's an incline, as long as the next release is better. I think that when it comes to music, things will always, it's so hard to explain. Even if you feel like you're not very relevant anymore, the number of people listening still tends to increase somehow, which is crazy. Even if I feel like, oh man, maybe I'm not doing so good anymore and stuff like that, the numbers that I see, the data they give me does not lie. There is still an incline, so that's good. But yeah, relevance is so subjective. It's weird because something that I realized in this industry is that in terms of like metrics of measuring success, they're so weird because you may see somebody who is an absolute legendary musician, and when they post about a new song on Twitter or something like that, it'll get like 400 likes. You think to yourself, isn't this a legend? Shouldn't they have a gazillion likes on it? No, because that's not where they are big, if that makes any sense. Same thing with legendary mangaka. When they post some illustrations up on the Twitter or whatever, and there are other people that are doing so much vastly better, but they are still so legendary, it doesn't make any sense. That's why it always confuses me in terms of like the numbers. When I look at numbers and compare and contrast, and comparison is the thief of joy, that is true. But I don't know, my mind is kind of analytical about this kind of stuff where I want to understand. That's why Miura never popped up on TikTok. I don't think you're gonna see Miura popping off on TikTok, I'm not gonna lie. It's just so interesting, the data. I can't help it, I'm so interested in the data. But yeah, not everybody uses Twitter, thank God, yeah? But for Holo, it's such a big place to promote our stuff. But somebody that is doing so well on YouTube maybe does not get a gazillion likes for everything that they tweet. Somebody who's doing super well on Twitter may not get a ton of views on their YouTube videos or TikTok, etc. I'm just interested in it. I try not to think too hard about it and in an emotional way, but I think about it a lot. Twitter genuinely for creeps. It's just, Twitter is it's become such a base for Holo promotion. I wish that we could move away, but this is what we got. I also feel in terms of social media, right? It's like a necessary evil. I am a person who prefers to just make music and have fun with my friends and then put out the music and then go away, but like read your comments, right? I want to see what the fans have to say and new people that are discovering me and what they think, what they want to see me do more of, what they want to see me do less of, etc. I like reading that stuff. No, Tumblr is not where I'm most comfortable. Absolutely not. And maybe a young me. Kids grew up on Twitter. Help. I remember high school on Twitter. Bad times. There are some fun memes though, but it's like you take the good with the bad, right? That's any place on the internet. Nah, they grew up on MySpace. Depends how old you are, right? What I wish I could do is I wish that I could just stick to YouTube. YouTube can also be a cesspit in some places, but again, if you change the algorithm to be in your favor, show you only the things that you want to see, etc., or maybe not only just things that you want to see, but things that are constructive, then you can make it work for you. I'd prefer to just keep that and not have to worry about all this other stuff, but it's just such an important part of business. You fall behind if you don't try and push yourself a little bit further on those places. That's what staff is for, true. Yeah, having them earn their pay by making your posts on TikTok. Yeah, I don't post anything to TikTok. I have staff take care of it. I just don't really want it on my phone. I don't want it. I like YouTube Shorts. I have a really cute YouTube short ready for anniversary, by the way. You have a TikTok? I do. And you know what? See, here's the thing. TikTok is whatever. It's like any other place on the internet. There are good people, there are bad people. That's just how it goes. I want to grow a little bit. I'd love to continue growing because it's nice to grow. TikTok is just such an interesting place. I still welcome some of them who are cool people from TikTok. Hey, you may say there are no cool people on TikTok, but what about Bibu? Bibu watches TikTok. I think she's cool. I would want her to be a part of my fan base. So there are cool people. But yeah, in terms of TikTok, see, I was never really too into it, but then something happened. There was like an opportunity that was offered specifically to members who were doing well on TikTok. And I thought to myself, well, dang. If I'd known that this was going to happen, I would have pushed a little bit harder on TikTok. So there's just a lot to think about. You got to actively be trying to grow a little bit. So that's why I think to myself, well, let's just try and push, right? That's why I'm kind of glad that, some of these more like mandated streams are kind of going down, because I've done so many mandated streams that I have to do and streams that I don't feel like I'm growing doing. Does that make any sense? I have so many plans for how I want to like expand the deadbeat skeleton army. I have so many plans, but I can't do them because of all the mandated streams that are not really branching more outward. Playing different games that might get people to go, hey, who's this? And people talk about natural growth. I mean, I'm trying to think about what that is, right? People say it's not shorts, and that's fine. The reason that I make shorts isn't to grow. a dedicated fan base. I've kind of learned that while I've been posting shorts, that's not how it works. However, I keep posting them because when I look through the comments, I see a bunch of regulars that are enjoying them, and I think it's good promotion. And again, it's a situation where, for example, why people hire people to play their games, even if not everybody that watches that streamer is gonna buy the game. It's in the back of your mind. You know about it. You'll talk about it with your friends because you saw it. It's just another outlet for promotion. I'm not actually aiming to grow the skeleton army by posting shorts. I just think it's good promotion, and I love seeing how much the regulars love them, so that's why I do the shorts. And also good for getting songs out there too. You can't deny that there is some level of, I guess, meta. Giving you guys content in different ways. If I can do it, I want to do it. In terms of natural growth, I'm here because of your singing. I think that's enough. I think so too. I think there are actually a ton of deadbeats that don't watch streams, but just really enjoy my songs. I'm happy with that. I got Scarlet Nexus because you played it. See, that's when the marketing campaign goes real well. Yeah, I think shorts are pretty good for music, for sure. But when people talk about more natural growth, I've been really kind of racking my brain to figure out what is that? Because people don't just magically become your fan. 4 years being in the game, I realized this. They don't just come out of nowhere. But for example, when I played Armored Core, I felt like we got a ton of new people. That was cool. Also, I wonder, some people probably get kind of scared about talks of growth and stuff like that. It's not that serious. It's just something that I think about as a creator. I like being honest with you guys. I let you guys know what's going on in my head. Just know that it's not like hurting me or anything like that. I'm an analytical person. What about more compilations of streams? Not just clips, but like summaries of the stream? I've also thought about that. I've seen some of my friends doing that. That could be cool.